we have two instances in the gospel accounts where people proclaim honor to Mary, and Jesus will correct them and say, blessed are the ones who hear the word of God and keep it. Or the other one, he says that those who hear the word of God and follow it are my family, their father, mother, brother, and sister to me. And what's going on in both of those instances is that Jesus wants to make very sure that when people look at the honor of Mary, they don't fix on something that isn't part of really the honor of Mary. The honor of Mary is the power with which she said yes to Jesus Christ. And the honors flow from that. But it's easy to think the particular thing about Mary is the honor, but that isn't the issue. The issue is her commitment and her following of Jesus Christ. I think it's always a danger that you and I will look at something like that. Like, for instance, if I think the honor of Mary is due to the fact she's Mother of God, then I'm never going to be Mother of God. I can go through all the different honors. None of those honors will ever apply to me. But as a matter of fact, if the honor of Mary is the power with which she said yes to God's call, then I can be like Mary, because it is the power of the call. I remember one time there was a woman who received a Tony Award, and I was shocked at the way she began her thank you speech. But then I thought it was very, very well done. She began the speech by saying, I know I deserve this award. We know everyone thinks they deserve it, but you're never supposed to say that. Okay? So she said, I know I deserve this reward. But she says, as a matter of fact, I'm not the only one in this play who does deserve it. And then she talked about the fact that, what they were rewarding was the work she put in. And that work was put in by many, many different people, or the play would never have worked at all. Today we celebrate the feast of Maximilian Kolbe. And Maximilian Kolbe was a Franciscan priest who was murdered in Auschwitz. And everyone talks about the martyrdom of Maximilian Kolbe and all this sort of thing. But I think oftentimes that overshadows Maximilian Kolbe. If you were to study his life, Maximilian Kolbe opened the largest Franciscan friary history has ever seen. And the day he was arrested, he had founded and made work the largest Catholic newspaper we have still ever seen. And so I think Maximilian Kolbe would have been canonized whether or not he'd ever been martyred. But we always tend to think of his martyrdom. It's important for us when we look at holy people to remember what their holiness is about and not the honors that come from their holiness. Because you and I will probably never partake of all their honors, but you and I can very well follow what made their holiness. To look into any life of a saint and see what they did in their yes to the Lord and the way they lived out their love of one another. That you and I can do. And that's the most significant part of any saint, even the Virgin Mary.